A Man Walks Onto a Pitch. Stories from a Life in Football by Harry Redknapp. Read by David John. Prologue. I was sitting in the changing room at Wembley after our playoff final. The wild celebrations were going on all around. Champagne, cheering, singing, bouncing, the usual. Queen's Park Rangers were going up. We hadn't deserved it, I knew that. Derby County had been the better side, but we'd won the game, in the last minute and with 10 men. That's what happens sometimes. My telephone rang. It was Harry Gregg, the old Manchester United legend, one of the Busby babes. He'd been watching the game. He knew the mixed emotions I would have been feeling. "Harry, I want you to hear a quick story," he said. And he told me about the time Northern Ireland beat England 3-2 at Wembley in 1957. Harry was in goal that day, against an England team that included his Manchester United teammates Duncan Edwards, Tommy Taylor and Roger Byrne, plus Billy Wright as captain and Johnny Ames at inside forward. Some great players there. After the game, Walter Winterbottom, England's manager, said he thought Northern Ireland had been lucky. This was put to their captain, Danny Blanchflower. "Ah, yes," he said with a smile, "but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good." And I believe that. I can hear Danny, a clever man, saying it now. Every manager will know what he means. We have all had good days that have not been lucky, and lucky days when we've not been good. And I know what days I prefer. It was a good story to hear just then. I don't know why I was feeling so ambivalent about the way we'd won against Derby. Maybe in my head when Gary O'Neill got sent off I was mentally preparing myself for my last game in football. I would have retired had we lost. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't even know if the owners would have wanted me to stay on. It's quite likely they would have desired a change too, and I understand that. Yet in my heart I knew I couldn't go another season in the Championship with the limitations to our squad. I knew the calibre of players we could buy would drop considerably, and there was enough dead wood around as it was. I had done my best in my first full season there, and it hadn't been good enough. It would have been time to let someone else have a go, to see if a fresh eye on the place could bring it back to life. I'm not saying this was going through my mind as I stood on the Wembley touchline. I was completely focused and absorbed by the game. But it was something I had considered in previous weeks. I knew the likely consequence of failure would be that I was managing my last match in professional football. When we went down to 10 men, I couldn't really see any way out of it, to be honest. I'd be a liar if I said I still thought we could win in open play. My hope was that we would survive and get the penalties. And even that was going to be difficult. We played with two strikers, which, looking back, was a mistake. There wasn't a lot in the game, but they had more possession, and that comes from having an extra man in midfield. Once O'Neill went off, it was just backs to the wall. I thought we might struggle through 90 minutes, but I wasn't confident about the additional 30 minutes extra time, with everyone exhausted. We weren't a young team, and a few looked like they were running on empty already. I had my best striker, Charlie Austin, playing on the left wing, where he looked as if he didn't have a clue. But my only option was to play two banks of four with Bobby Zamora up on his own. I couldn't have asked Bobby to do Charlie's defensive shift. It was a mess. And then, suddenly, it was a miracle. With seconds on the clock, the ball dropped to Bobby, and he stuck it right in a corner. It was too late for Derby to do anything about it. They knew they were done. It was a strange feeling after the game, really. Sandra had come up with our grandchildren, so she had to go home to the south coast. Jamie was away at the Champions League final, and I felt too emotionally drained to do much celebrating. I knew they would all be back at Loftus Road getting drunk, but I didn't fancy that at all. I had to stay in London because we had a parade at the ground the following morning, so I planned a quiet night. I showed my face at the party, then sneaked out the back door and went to the Grosvenor House Hotel for a late dinner and a Champions League final. Club sandwich, plate of chips, cup of tea. Lovely. And then, watching the football, I got a phone call from Don Shanks, the old Rangers player. He's a good lad.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?